Hi guys, and thank you for watching. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to apply eyeshadow. Now this might sound a little bit basic, but if you are maybe a beginner or you're just starting out with makeup, I'm sure this will be really helpful. So if you're interested in seeing how to apply eyeshadow like a pro, then please just keep on watching. Now that you're nice and zoomed into my face, we're going to start off with an eyeshadow primer. Now I use a primer because it kind of creates an even base. It's kind of like an even canvas that you can apply your eyeshadow onto. And it also kind of cancels out any discoloration that you might have on your eyelids. So the one that I use is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. Now if you don't want to buy this one, you can actually just use a concealer or any eyeshadow base that you have. Yeah, a concealer works just as well. And then I'm just going to apply that all over my lid area. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to apply any type of bone shade on top of that primer. And the reason that we're doing that is because we want to kind of set the concealer. If we don't do this, then any dark color that we apply onto that will kind of stick to one part, and then it won't blend out as seamlessly as we would want it to. So the one that I'm just going to be using, you can see it's really loved. It's just this bone shade over here. Just picking up some of that, kind of applying it all over our lids. Okay, so now that we have that nice and set, we're going to start off with applying the eyeshadow. The palette that I'm going to be using is the Morphe 350 palette. Kind of just looks like this, and it has a bunch of just neutral shades in. They're all matte, and I think you can get this palette from Muse Beauty. I know that a lot of the resellers actually sell this palette, so you can get it from Muse Beauty. If you don't want to get it at Muse Beauty, then you can also try Switch Beauty. They have kind of like similar, it's kind of a dupe for this palette. It's very similar. So we're going to go in with a transition shade, and the reason that we're going in with a transition shade is because we want that gradient effect. So we're going in with the lightest color and then kind of blending it into the darkest color, kind of creating an ombre effect down. So the color that we're going to be using is this, just kind of this light brown shade, and I'm picking it up with my MAC 217 brush. So we're picking up the color, and then you kind of just want to tap off all of the excess product. The reason that we do this is so that it doesn't like fall onto your face and kind of ruin the rest of your makeup. So we're going to go into the middle of the eye. If you feel with your finger, you kind of feel a bone there. You want to really go just underneath that bone. I'm just going to pick up the color. What's also a great tip is instead of applying the makeup like this, to kind of just look downwards, kind of like put the mirror where your chin is and look downwards, so that you have like all of this open space where you can work, instead of like this where you're like kind of clenching your eyes, which makes it really hard. So kind of look down when you're applying eyeshadow. It just makes it a lot easier. So I'm just gonna go in . And once you see that there's no more product on the brush, you can just take that and kind of just blend in everything so that there's no harsh lines. Now that we have that color kind of down, we're going to go in with a little bit of a darker color, and we're going to apply that, focusing a little bit more downward. And we're going to go in with this shade. You can see like that's the original shade. This is just a few shades darker. That's the original shade, and this is just a little bit darker. And this we're just going to be focusing. just go ahead and blend those two colors out. Now we're going to go in with an even darker color, and we're going to use a little bit of a more defined brush to do this. So the color that we're going to go in with is this really pretty chocolatey brown color. Now what you want to achieve here is you want to have the darkest part of the product kind of in the outer V of your eye. So place the most product there and then just kind of drag whatever is left on the brush inwards. Now what I like to do is I like to blend step for step. I know that some people think, you know, I'll just apply the eyeshadow now and then I'll just blend it at the end, but if you blend it step for step, it really makes it so much easier to get everything seamless. So literally after every step, I just go in and blend what I've just done. So once again, I'm just taking the first brush that I used. Okay, now a lot of people will kind of stop at this point, but if you want to go a little bit darker, we're going to go in with the shade that's just underneath. So that's the shade that we just went in with. This is a little bit of a darker shade, so I'm just going to take another brush. Doing a really tiny amount on my outer corner. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to be applying a lighter color in the inner corner of our eye. This is just going to help to awaken your eyes and make them look nice and big. And the color that I'm going to go in with is All That Glitters from MAC. You can see it's been really well loved as well. So this is quite a shimmery eyeshadow, and a tip that I can give you when you're applying shimmery eyeshadows is to wet your brush. If you wet your brush, the pigment is just going to show up a lot more. Actually, a really good tip is to wet it with eye drops. That's what I used to do when I had like no products. But what I'm going to use is just the MAC Studio Fix fluid. This is a really pretty color, and it's also really nice and subtle, so it's not too much. And now, just to blend the lighter color that we just applied with the darker colors, I'm just going to take that first brush that I used and just kind of blend those two in together. That's really easy. Okay, so for the bottom liner, it's basically the same process. We're going to use the same first shade that we used at the top. And I'm just going to kind of drag that. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a pencil brush by MAC. It's the 210 brush. And we're going to go in with the darker shade and just line close to the lash line. So this is the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please make sure to subscribe down below. I will be posting videos like this every single week. And also to my social media accounts, I post little Instagram videos regularly, so you can check those out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All of the products that I used in this video will be linked down below. I love you and thank you for the support. Have a great weekend.